What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Greataxe Gaming. I am Jax, and we are back with Hiveswap's Friendsim. We're getting close to the end. Now, in our last episode, we had dealt with a shit ton of teenage angst. That's what we had done. Okay, I bought you. Why won't you open? Anyways, we'll deal with that in a bit. Now, we're meeting up with somebody I can only assume they're into, very into, blah, 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 we've done this already. Wrestling, or some kind of arena fighting, judging by the belt. Either way, this is going to be fucking awesome. Also, judging by the name, Nihkee Moolah, it's a straight-up reference to Nike, the company, in which case a corporate shill of some kind of an athlete, or it's a reference to the, I believe, Greek goddess Nike of victory, which, also cool. But the Moolah leaves me to believe corporate shill. Let's find out. Wow, that is... I'm sorry, that is very loud. Here, let me get that. That shouldn't be echoing through my mic. That's weird. Anyways. Let's bump down the sensitivity on that some. I am so sorry, you guys. Okay. Dim lights, the din of a roaring crowd, and the smell of horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even universes, there is still something deeply familiar about a sporting arena. Also, the fucking horses. Smash your mother honking face in! There is also something deeply familiar about sports fans.
Blah, such a shame having seats next to the purples. They can be so crude and boorish, don't you agree? Chud wouldn't nearly be this loud. Usually.
You find yourself here attending a wrestling show, or display of muscular theater to use the troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of one Amicia Erden. She won the tickets in a raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. You quickly agreed, with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up as a living paint jar since you're buddies and all. What a sweet friend. You have to admit, though, muscular theater isn't really your thing. It's about as over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but it's also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die, as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic hover stretchers with injuries you're not sure they could survive.
Ooh, gosh, she nearly got impaled there.
Every match tonight is taking place within a chain-link cage. Spikes surrounded on both the outside and inside, and jet out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. The overall design in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshed, seems to both keep the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. The current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress, and a purple blood calling himself Culpits. Interestingly to you, there is nothing clown-like about him at all. It is almost conspicuous how unclowny he is, if only due to the absolutely ridiculous amount of clown content you have imbibed in the presence of other purples. The two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves amid blindingly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with a barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet, and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive blood is holding back, presumably so as to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower-blooded opponent triumphed over a higher-blooded foe.
I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting, but I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular theatrist performing next. Her name is Nihkee Moolah, and she hasn't ever lost a fight. I heard she even beat a violet blood once.
Nihkee Moolah, huh? Now that's a name you could befriend. She must be as big a deal as Amicia makes her out to be, because she uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan.
Oh, look, he got her!
You flinch. The purple one managed to get her his quarry in his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch and she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet, and the announcer calls the match to uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's attention. The olive blood looks like she'll probably live, but she's got a dent in her face that probably isn't coming out. Ever. Ugh. All of a sudden you really need to, get to a bathroom. You mean use the snack. You mean you'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Come back soon. This fight is giving me all sorts of ideas for a new painting.
You quickly make a break for it, jostling your way through the stands and toward the exit of the arena. But before you make it, a voice called out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-finned violet-blooded guy wearing a full suit with a tacky flame pattern on it. Hey you, alien. Me? You ask, pointing to yourself nervously.
No, the other alien.
You swing your head about wildly, looking for the other alien. This bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which is that you are the alien whose attention he wants.
You looking to make a little extra buck?
No, not really. You never spent all that money you won with Azdaja.
Okay, how about fame?
Frankly, you are probably already too famous for your own good.
Friendship?
Oh shit, yeah. Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage whilst explaining that he's a promoter for this wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called the troll-devouring Ketchia grabber. As such, famed muscular theatress Nihkee Moolah is left with nothing to fight. You will be that nobody, or somebody. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Nihkee is so friendly, he adds in a tone so insincere even your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay, you've met worse. Oh! Oh my! Well. Also, this dude's creepy. Back here, this dude's creepy. But I'm love. I'm love. He takes you into a back room which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked blue-blooded more often than not. One troll in particular stands out to you, from her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg, to the fact that she's the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. She's currently doing bicep curls with a set of spiked weights, huffing with exertion. When the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. That leg is fucking rad. I'm busy. He begins to explain that he's brought the new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met. Do you want to know what happens, sister, to people who disturb my preparation? Do you want to experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here? I can't decide on a voice because it feels like... I don't want to just go on full-on like Randy Savage Hulk Hogan because that feels really kind of fucking sketchy territory. You know, trying to do a really masculine voice with a hyper-muscular lady. But she does have that very bombastic, like, aggressive energy. So I gotta figure out how to capture that. She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The promoter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look which distinctly suggests she has never dropped kayfabe in her life and has no intention of starting here. Make it quick. The promoter makes it quick. So let me get this straight. You expect me, to perform with this thing. She seems less than impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you really don't look the wrestling type. Don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pulled a Rusty from the audience than subjected me to this humiliation. Oh, but you are more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have the heart and soul of a wrestler. You have long, much longer than about 5 minutes, you thoroughly assured her, waited for an opening such as this, to reveal your true passion for the world, to come alive on the stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. Here we go! For eons you have thirsted for the chance to sing the song of sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would that you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of the athlete, to perform alongside your hero, to show the world that you, too, love to do the muscly thing. Ah, that you might just... Okay, I get it. She glances over at the promoter and then back to you. It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being, but is it ready for a butt-clenching, flesh-abrading, knuckle-blistering, muscle-rippling smackdown from uptown? Okay, now, here we go. We're back. I have discovered, first of all, because the name sounded familiar, I searched Moolah in wrestling, and there is, in fact, a wrestler from a while ago, I'm not sure exactly how long, but a while ago, that was named the Fabulous Moolah, that was one of the most famous female wrestlers of her age, which explains the last name. But also, yes, the name is, her name is a reference to, well, I'm not sure if it's the Greek god or the shoe, but I believe definitely referencing the Greek god. Anyways, am I ready for a SmackDown? Yep. Bad ending first! Hey, actually this is starting to sound a little much for you. You aren't sure you can quite match your, enthusiasm for the craft. Who do you think you are, sister? You, who has the globes to step to me, you come into my dressing room with those flimsy, stringy, insultingly puny arms of yours, look me in my eyes and challenge me to a match, beg for the chance to spar with me, and then cluck out like the pathetic alien whelp you are. Get out of my sight. Head bowed low, you retreat to the safety, comfort, and friendless expanse that is the audience. You can't even bear to look at Nihkee when she goes out and performs. You're so saddened by the loss of a potential chum. Well, that, and it's kind of grisly watching her pull low-blood challengers from the audience and smash their faces into the spikes. Oof. Jesus. Well. Yes. You nod your head confidently. Blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh, you say. Let's get this SmackDown started. You've got guts, at least. She turns to the promoter and gives him a curt nod. The match is on. Then she turns back to you. Now, sister. Also, that's cute. That is very cute. So at first I was wondering if the promoter, I had misgendered the promoter. Or not misgendered, but misinterpreted the promoter, and it was female, and that's why she was saying sister, but nope. She's just doing the Hulk Hogan thing. Instead of brother, it's sister. We need to discuss the show. I will make all the decisions. You will respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus. The alien invader challenges me in an exhibition match to topple the matriarchy. Matriarchy, that's pretty metal. They fight valiantly and show an entertaining display of strength. But in the end, as is right and proper, the nobler hue of the hemospectrum prevails again. Ah! She starts flexing and showing off for an imaginary audience before turning to you. Any questions, sister? Yes, actually, you have a couple of questions. First, will you die? No! Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe! Such is the risk we take, we who indulge in that most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give up my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that will transcend us and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister? Well, it's rhetorical. Wow. Wow, I like that. Just, nope. Right. Secondly, when she says exhibition match, it is a muscular theater term, referring to a match staged for the entertainment that does not affect one's ranking on the Flexa ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Such glorious displays of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for the intergalactic Olympics. That face, though. No, yeah, you get that. Mostly you were wondering if it meant the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense. Do not denigrate this noble sport with claims of savagery. Thirdly, you're getting the sense that she's going to be playing the heel, yeah? The what? You explained that in your old cultural equivalent of muscular theater, performers generally fall into the category of the face or the heel, wherein the face is the rule-abiding and sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality. Also, how fucking stupid is my character that he assumes that she's going to be the heel? First of all, clearly he knows enough about wrestling to know the term face and heel, which means he recognizes the Hulk Hogan reference. Second of all, you've been in this culture for how long and you assume the invading alien is going to be the face? Come on! What part of my personality is unlikable? Honestly, none of it. Do you dare suggest, sister, that the audience won't be roaring in thunderous applause and admiration as I conquer yet another pitiful foe? You tell her, you know what? She can be both the face and the heel, and you'll just be subjugated under my heel? There's a step on me joke here, but I'm going to move past it. Yes, exactly. Hey, Moolah, chatting time's over. You're up. She jerks her head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the promoter directs you to your entrance on the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. Wearing the belt of champions and the leg of her own design, she's ready to gut the competition. A paragon of power, a lady of legwork, a true blue Ruffy annihilator in the making. Clap your hands and activate your screech crevices. It's Nihkee Moolah! Ow. Nihkee approaches the cage to thunderous applause, raising her arms and soaking in all the praise. Jesus. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly around her steely frame. This appears to be a common ritual for her. That leg is so fucking metal. She steps through one of the cage doors and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. With her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted, she awaits you. As the announcer begins new intro speech, you step forward. And in the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up low-butt alien. How has this absurd mockery of life not been culled yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands and barbed foot of the Grand Nihkee. Decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of old boots and rotten fruit. Somebody throws an entire piano at you. Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you. So, you've come here, alien, to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species. Yeah, you shout. Your kind is so superior to trolls. And you, their emissary, does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiasts? She turns to the audience, throwing a hand and gesture to you. They boo. Is this sorry specimen the best its planet can offer? More boos. You counted that you came more than prepared to tackle the matriarchy? Yeah, that. So, you claim to be prepared, but are you prepared to face these fucking Christ, 24-inch slither noodles? She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explode. All right, so be it. I'll crush you in a single blow. You're expecting a referee to start the match, but then it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which is apparently the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nihkee grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up it effortlessly, scaling it in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer screams something about this move being called the spiky Nihkee. Oh dear. Once she finishes her ascension, Nihkee deftly leaps down from the edge of the cage and spins down towards you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blindingly fast flips before her robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should probably move. You duck and roll forward, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood!" as you feel a light trickle down the back of your neck. Some members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood. Between the neon lighting in the distance, they probably think it's rust-colored and not a mutant red, so at least you have that going for you. What you don't have going for you is time to think about your next move, because Nihkee pivots on her heels and charges at you. This time she's going for a more theatrical throw. Two powerful hands grab you and lift you over her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on one of her horns in your struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard, and you're delighted to find that her grip loosens and you go tumbling over her back, landing, with a clumsy stagger, on your feet. You're not sure if she just let you get away with that one for the sake of the show, or if you just slipped out of her sweat-soaked palms, but you're going to charitably assume the former. Yeah, no, kayfabe. She's definitely basically a pro wrestler, which means you can't just no-sell the whole match. Oof. She turns to face you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist and then barreling towards your fragile human nose. You leap out of the way, only narrowly dodging it.
All you've done avoid me, coward. Where's your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you loath to face my true blue muscle-bound beauty?
You take this as your cue to attack, and instead you run full turtle away from her. Isn't fear carrying you, you swear.
Fool! There is no running or hiding from Nihkee Moolah. Stand and fight!
She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, least of all you, but you think you can pull something cool out of this. You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging the spikes that line it, and use a slight amount of give in the chain link wires to springboard you off. With an exuberant grin, you fly towards her, arm held out for a classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her own arm and whop! When you wake up, you are lying on what appears to be an exercise mat. You can feel a telltale throbbing sensation in your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, doesn't particularly hurt. Nearby, you can hear the puff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nihkee training on one of those leg press machines you always saw in gyms but never had the courage to attempt to use. She's wearing an exercise outfit, which, despite its vastly different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions a fitness aficionado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artists don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout.
You're finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I have spent so much time, so much precious, valuable time, waiting for you to open your eyes.
Oh god, how long have you been out?
About 40 minutes!
That's not so bad, is it?
Perhaps, but only when compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack. Wretched! I am an impossible foe to conquer, and yet even a Rusty has towed me longer in the realm of mortal combat. You are weak, sister! Offensively so!
She slams her foot forward with such velocity the weight in the leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting, she stands, takes a long swig from a bottle, and then approaches you with fire in her eyes.
What do you have to say for yourself?
You scuttle backwards, offering only a sheepish smile. You're, sorry, you guess?
I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You are not a worthless being. You have a flair for theatrics, an appreciation of the sport, and a shining soul, filled with only the most intractable determination. You could be so much more than you are, sister. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold, the Bronzeum!
Yeah, no, okay. You obediently cast said gaze around. This room is massive and littered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it resembles the exercise machines like the ones you had in gyms back on Earth, but there is plenty more that looks far more alien and deadly. A treadmill which appears to throw the runner off into a vat of acid if they fall off. A series of swinging axes that would look at home in a dungeon. Three different varieties of Iron Maiden, each more horrific than the last. This is presumably Nike's personal workout studio, but you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. You wonder if Ardata has ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her.
There are some who would be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge them, just as I forge myself into beings of adamantine strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff, then I believe you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong and your will of iron, yours will be an unquenchable might.
She extends a hand to you, jaw set.
Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend to tumescent heights of muscular perfection.
There is a look in her eyes that you have never seen before, one of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? Let's go ahead and take what I assume is the bad ending. Hesitate. You begin to offer your hand, but under her steely gaze your resolve wavers. This all seems like a lot, too much even. You don't know if you're made of stuff tough enough for the training she seems to be offering. You would like to prove yourself, to become strong, you really would, but does she perhaps just maybe have a course a little easier on soft and squishy creatures like yourself? Oh Jesus. The expression on her face grows terrifyingly blank. She's not scowling or snarling or sickened or any other S-word. She's looking at you with the vaguest hint of disappointment dripping from her otherwise neutral expression. I see. You're like all the rest, aren't you? Unworthy to receive my gifts. Unwilling to reach your full potential. A pathetic, simpering thing, playing at dreams of muscular greatness it can never achieve because it doesn't have the will for it. You're an insult to my art. You spit on my passion. Get the fuck out of my face and do not ever dare to return. Shrinking under her steely gaze, you quickly flee from her hive. Is this it for you? Is the screen going to fade to black, replaced by a goofy cartoonish end card and some somber game over music composed by artistic genius James Roach? No, you refuse. You are not yet ready to call this friendship kaput. You'll show in her draconian methods, damn it. It's time to get ripped! You're going to do it your own way, and then in return, and she will be so utterly impressed by your muscular growth that she will have no choice but to admit you are friend material. Sadly, you do not know any other blue bloods, characterized by an absurd love of muscles and bodybuilding. They're all basically total nerds, actually. But you can perhaps think of someone from a nearby hue who can help you. Oh, hi! Her door swings open with gusto, and you are greeted by a familiar smiling face. Oh, what an unexpected surprise! You really should have called or texted, or literally anything else to alert me on the fact that you wanted to visit me on such short notice. My schedule is so terribly packed. But that's alright, I can squeeze in a meeting, I'm sure. Do come in, do come in! I love her. Oh, hey, Tizzius, what's up? You step past the threshold of the door and into her office/living room. Tizzius is sprawled across the couch, lazily holding up a book to her face. Looks like she's studying, which is a relief to you, because you would have felt terrible if you interrupted some intimate time between the two of them. Unless studying is intimate for them. You kind of hope studying isn't intimate for anyone. The prospect terrifies. Would you like to join me and Zizi for some grub loaf? There's no imposition, I promise. You absolutely would. You didn't know Stelsa was a cook on top of everything else she does. Oh no, I could never. There simply isn't enough time. I'm just ordering from Door Smash. It's excellent stuff, really it is. Zizi has some very colorful words for the taste. It's pretty bitchin'. Yes, it is, certainly. That. Pencil our good friend in here for dinner date, can you, darling? They're literally here already. We don't need to do that. Stelsa pauses and blinks as if processing a foreign concept. Right! Sometimes Stills forgets that you don't have to put everything on a schedule, which is fair. School feeding changes a troll. Stelsa pulls up a chair and gestures for you to sit down in front of the desk. All that said, while we wait for the meal to arrive, let's get down to brass tacks. What brings you to my lovely abode tonight? Maybe they just want to see you. People don't always need a reason beyond that. You actually do have a reason, though. Shit. You explain to Stelsa that you have a friend, more commonly a friend to be, or perhaps acquaintance, or perhaps a person of chum-adjacent quality, who you would like to impress through the pursuit of physical fitness. You recall that Stelsa was jogging when you met her, so maybe she could help you put together a fitness routine, and you could do some workouts together. Oh my god, it's so cute! Oh, the face! Her expression lights up and she clasps her hands together. Oh goodness, I would absolutely love that! My poor Zizi is usually far too tired and far too busy. Sometimes I don't know how I manage myself, so I'd absolutely love a partner to keep train Zizi at running on time. Assuming, of course, you won't be late yourself and can keep up with my pace. Fair warning, it's blistering. Isn't it though? Thanks, sweetums. You confidently assert that, if nothing else, you can keep pace with her. Your legs have seen a lot of use. Walking, running, fleeing, prostrating yourself before clowns, you know, the usual. Excellent! We'll set up some meetings, then I'll add you to my schedule. My people will call your people, etc., etc. Thanks for visiting. It's been ever so lovely to see you. Toodaloo! She's halfway through shoving you out the door when you remind her that she invited you in for grub loaf. She hastily and apologetically pulls you back inside with Tizzius snickering in the background. Don't know what I'd do if I didn't have Stells. Someone has to be the energetic one in this quadrant. The contrast certainly is a stark one. Has Tizzius considered quaffing energy drinks here or there? Perhaps they would help keep her pep up. 1, I'd probably literally die. 2, you don't want to see me on energy drinks. Nobody does. Fair. You spend a little while longer chatting with Tizzius before the delivery arrives and the three of you have dinner together. The Grubloaf is exactly as bitchin' as advertised. A wonderful meal with wonderful friends. The perfect precursor to the fitness montage yet to come. You visit Stelsa multiple days a week, fitting yourself into her incredibly convoluted and packed schedule. The feat doesn't actually prove very hard. You basically only exist to spend time with friends. Her equipment is delightfully free of torture devices. Beside her step machine, she also owns quite a bit of smaller exercise paraphernalia. Aerobics, doodads, and thingamajigs, yoga mats, jogging outfits. Even one of those huge bouncy exercise balls, which she bans you from using after you accidentally sent it careening into a carefully organized stack of books. She also carries herself forward with a peppy, always-on sense of gusto that can be difficult to keep up with, but her bright smile and encouraging attitude do wonders to keep you invested, to convince you that you really can acquire the swolehood you've dreamed of. By the end of the paragraph, you are, well, you wouldn't exactly call yourself ripped, but your muscles are definitely toned in a way they previously were not. You feel hale and healthy, more energetic than ever, with a bit of extra pep in your step. Apparently, regular exercise makes you feel good. Wild. Lies! As you look at yourself in the reflection of an acid puddle, you flex and watch your muscles bulge. Fuck yeah, it's time. At least, you hope it's time. You climb into your scuttle buggy and prepare to set the autopilot to Nike's place, but something stills your hand. Some strange sensation that has been slowly, surely settling in your stomach. A sense of unease, of dread. Your days of foolish ignorance are long past, and in their place a burgeoning understanding of the universe in which you exist, and the harsh laws in which rules its inhabitants. You have, you are beginning to fear, made the wrong choice, with all the consequences such a lapse in judgment entails. Will you ever truly befriend Nihkee, or you cursed live, for who knows how long, in a world without a sweet smile to cure your insatiable addiction? Mayhap you need not wonder. Mayhap the time has come to look inside yourself and know. You are going to give your chakras one real motherfucker of blitzing. It's going to take mood music of the highest caliber. Having picked up some meditative tips from Boldir, you navigate your Scuttlebuggy's radio dial to an achromatic buzz station, which is currently playing some soothing ocean sounds. The gentle lap of water meeting the shore, the rhythmic beat of the tide, as steady as sweet as a mother's heartbeat. It's interspersed with distant honks and weird animal chittering, of course, because this is still fucking Alternia. You lean back in your seat, reclining it as far as it can go, and sink into the cushiony softness. Something sharp is poking at your rib, but you try to ignore it. Close your eyes, allow white noise to flood your senses, blocking everything else out. Oh yeah, you are really vibing this shit right now. Chakra status blitz to high hell. You imagine causality as a river, every choice a branch. Tributaries upon tributaries, winding ever downward, pooling in lakes of inevitability. The pit in your stomach gnaws. It all ends here. Stagnant, bitter water, reeking of death. The ocean ever out of reach, your soul ever yearning for the single, solitary estuary among all the ceaseless spillways. You take a deep breath. Water laps at your sides and tickles your ears. You are adrift. You feel the gentle bob as you float down the river, hear the rush like a ticking clock, gravity as time pulling you ever forward. Which river is this? To what end does it deliver you? Your breathing slows, then shudders. You feel the rapids approach. The rivers blur, then shift. Your heart rewinds, misses a beat. A surge of emotion, water streaking down the curve of your cheek. Your lungs ache. Which lungs? Which river? Which you? You try to focus, but the water beats at your brows, lashes at your arms and legs, too tired to swim. You try for another deep breath, but nothing comes. With a tumultuous gasp, you sink beneath the surface to the churning darkness below. Here, amidst the battered onslaught, the images come, worlds of emotion, of sound, of thought, memories best forgotten or never known, lakes meant to remain uncharted. What the fuck?! The crack of thunder, rain in a tearfall, a single drop of olive, the wrecker skips. Peace through rage, the whirl of the carousel, horses whinny as the calliope sings, the circle takes you. Screeching eyes implore you, the puppet's strings stretch toward the moon, the flash of a blade, the spray of blood, her strings are cut. The crackle of energy, the world gone grayscale, eyes deeper than the deepest pit, a shuddering final breath. You are lost, lungs burning, water clogging every inch, you furrow your brow. Think, find your river. Coughing, wheezing, a final rattling gasp. Panic seizes you, a resounding crack, the stamp of hoofs, the ricochet of gunfire, the death of one of thousands. A low, sinister honk, footfalls, loud and deep, the swing of a club, blood on the pavement. Wait, hold on. I don't remember this. Like, at all. Who? Oh wait, no, that's the artist. Right, okay. Dark acrid smoke, indistinct voices crackling intercom, a lurch beneath you, feet thrown out, neon energy crackling green. Choking, desperate, lungs aflame, you focus your will. Where are you? Which are you? Find your river. Piercing eyes, a stern, uncompromising gaze. The singe of acid, crushing spikes, the body worn to nothing, all for her approval. The puff of exertion, gray muscles flex and spirits lighten, a gulp of water, the shine of a smile. A looping tape, mirrors and mirrors, the mind, like time, infinite. The tributary splits, and you finally drift down your chosen route. Freshwater visions as you float toward the surface. A carefree decision, scuttling legs in the throne of an engine, cityscapes passing by. Stern anger, a fist tightly clenched, shaking, barely restrained, hope crushed under rigid foot. A plan poorly conceived. Wait, hold on. At times like these, you quite envy the Purple Bloods. Well, you envy them quite often, actually. They've got amazing strength, unbelievably beautiful rap gods, and honestly, Vago's starting to grow on you right now. Right now, you just wish you were a contortionist. These vents are way too tight. See, look how strong you are. You can lift these weights with ease. You could lift something bigger. You would be happy to demonstrate if she would stop advancing on you with the intent to full Nilsson your sorry ass. Desperation, madness, friendship at all costs. Navy blood pooling on the concrete, troll and plan both collapsing, cold hatred in her eyes. She tore my car in half. You're just thankful to manage to snatch the water bottle out of the scuttle buggy before she tore it in half. The importance of hydration is never more evident than when you spend hours fleeing in terror. How is she even doing this with only one working leg? Tense footfalls on the pavement, muscles strained to exhaustion, the sun rising over a desperate chase. Swallowing your fear, you leap across the tracks moments before the train comes screeching past. Just behind you, you hear a grunt, and then a scream, louder and more agonizing than you've ever heard before. Is this it? After days, is your odyssey at an end? Escape, sweet bliss, soon to shatter, blood and bone turn to steel. Oh my god! I can't disable her nice cybernetics. They're too entwined with her biology. Get back, she's about to strike, damn it. Fruitless assistance, your clothing, your soul stained with blood. No more. No more. Your palmist died ages ago, but you've been etching lines into the back to keep track of time. You're hearing the one-year anniversary of, well, you're not sure what to call it. The day you irrevocably ruined your life? The day you fled into the untamed wild? You would celebrate, but you doubt you'll have time. She can't be far. One more step, one more desperate step, one foot after another in an endless chase. You try your best to stifle your ragged, fearful breathing, but you know it's fruitless. Nothing can hide the terrified pounding of your heart to her bionic ears, nor the heat of your blood to her infrared senses. She can find you here. Drenched in sweat, in fear, hidden but not well enough. But dumb. Nihkee Borg's searing blue eye flashes in the darkness. There's no more hiding. You close your eyes. The curtains fall. One final heartbeat at the end of all things. You emerge from beneath the surface with a gasp, coughing up water, and oh, it's just you sitting in your scuttle buggy, gentle white noise still playing on the radio. You take a moment to catch your breath, your heart thumping against your ribcage like it wants to crawl out and beat you senseless for subjecting you to all that horse shit. Okay, enough meditation for one day. You think you're just gonna reach over and kinda set the autopilot to Stelz's house instead of Nike's? Yeah. You have an idea if this will avert or merely delay some horrifying grisly end or another, but it's better than the alternative. And besides, you really want some more of that bitch and grub loaf. Jesus. Yeah! Wrong choice! That also may have been the most horrifying ending so far. Also, when did I gain the ability to just fucking look into the future? Like, was that something Boldier taught me that I've just never used before now? I don't know. Fuck it. Take her hand! You take her hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, to see that deep sapphire blue filled with the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly you feel your fingers fracturing. Excellent! I knew you had the spark. Now, to make a flame, to grind and crush and pummel the flint until it bursts into the roaring blaze of strength. Today, I shall begin by testing your limits. Come. She leads you to the treadmill in the deep, bubbling pit of acid behind it. You nervously step on. We're going to measure your speed and stamina. Run until you can run no longer. She starts up the machine. She'll give you a nice breezy jogging pace at first, but the treads quickly begin to whir away at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill. Come on, sister, grit your teeth, put some thrust sinew into it. If you're not evacuating your acid tract by the time you're done, you aren't trying hard enough! Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit, running like you're being chased by an angry drone. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving ever faster and you can almost feel yourself flipping. Got to hold... Ah! You lose your grip and go flying backwards, narrow grasping onto the edge of the pit and dangling into it, your toes singed by the acid. Ah! You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll to the side, hissing. Nihkee stands over you, clucking her tongue. Top speed, 12 miles per hour. That's good, right? For a bronze blood. Next test. She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as terrible as Rusty's, your lungs are gold at best, your legs an unexpected cerulean. All the while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further. The desiccated corpse of my ancestor could do better than this. You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skulls. Are you going to eject Dismay fluid all night long, or are you going to woman up? You go toe-to-toe with a punching bag that shoots sonic blasts at you whenever you hit it. Shape up or get ejected on the next solar execution barge. You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise. Your jazz hands are terrible! By the time an hour is up, you are panting and huffing, desperate for a break. Nihkee finally relents. Your reward for staying alive thus far. Stay hydrated, sister. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that Jimbo Soro's chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiously for a moment before throwing caution to the wind and gulping some down. When has imbibing saline substances ever hurt you before? But when the flavor hits your taste buds, you almost retch. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk? Nutritious and delicious. You keep chugging it. You need the liquids, foul though they may be. Alright, lactose breakover. Let's continue! She next leads you over to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually look spiked. It just has blunt, bumpy surfaces on the inside. Get in. What? Get in, sister! You reluctantly step inside the Iron Maiden and the door clamps shut around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you from all sides, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push against the walls, desperately trying to keep them from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the Maiden opens. Pressure resistance, about olive level. These results are surprisingly adequate! Your potential continues to shine. Good work! This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude as you continue, just barely, persevere through everything she throws at you. Like a shake weight so powerful it leaves you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises. Keep steady, sister! Don't lose heart on me now! A rowing machine that douses you with boiling water if you can't keep up the pace. Go, go, go! We'll make a fuchsia medalist out of you yet! Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster. Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bones! After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken, your heartbeat is quick and irregular pulses, and you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet. Get up! You glance weakly at Nihkee, expecting her to be looking down at you with disdain, but instead you see her crouching down and offering you her hand, wearing a smile. You take her hand and she pulls you up to her feet. The look on her face now resembles pride, and when she claps a palm down on your shoulder, it only kind of hurts. You've done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, and you soldiered on with head held high, even as your body broke beneath the weight. I have never seen such commitment, such strength of heart and soul, such dedication to the craft, such appreciation for the most nichest of pursuits. Oh, God. Ow. That's hard. You are no mere workout partner. You are a workout friend. A light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse. Hussy, please! This feeling of power, of strength, of the bond between warriors. Trade and fight! This is real and true, and this light will never, ever leave you. As you bask here, satisfied, sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize the planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmos come and go, but being swole as fuck is forever. That's really cute. I like that. Okay, that's pretty sweet. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. All right. I love her. I think she's one of my favorites so far. She really does give kind of weird cross vibe between... Well, no, okay. At first, it was definitely Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage with that whole, like, aggressive condescension thing. But toward the end, it kind of got warrior male-y. Or, no, I guess the appropriate comparison would be warrior... I believe the blog is Warrior Lesbian, who's also fucking badass. But anyways, that's it for this episode. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to buy me coffee, the link is down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. Homestuck fans, I am coming to the end of Hiveswap, and I really appreciate y'all's views. And so if you want to keep hanging out, and you got something you want me to play that you want to see, let me know. I always take suggestions. It's fun. I do have something queued up, thanks though. We're going to the DLC for Party Hard, and then we're jumping into Party Hard 2 again. Oh yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Later, y'all.